Have you ever wondered what actually happens when you flush your toilet or pour something down the drain? Or is it just out of sight, out of mind? The philosopher Alfred Whitehead once said, "Civilization advances by extending the number of important operations we can perform without thinking of them. Flushing the toilet is the perfect example. We don't want to think about it, but wastewater treatment makes that important operation safer for all of us." Today, I'll show you how we take our waste, turn it back into safe water, and why this process is so important to society. I'll give you a brief history of wastewater treatment, how waste goes from your home to the wastewater plant, explain the treatment process, and tell you why it matters today. So for just a little bit of background about myself, I've worked in water and wastewater treatment for almost 10 years and hold the highest water and wastewater treatment licenses available in Texas. Before sewage treatment, cities dumped waste into streets and rivers. This caused deadly outbreaks like cholera and typhoid, which have been linked to millions of deaths worldwide. Dr. John Snow, often called the father of modern epidemiology, wrote in 1855, "All that would be required to prevent the disease would be such a close attention to cleanliness in cooking and eating, and to drainage and water supply as is desirable at all times." According to historian Adam Levine, Philadelphia built some of the first sewage treatment systems in the 19th and 20th centuries, and public health improved dramatically. And according to UN Water's 2024 global report, today about 42% of household wastewater worldwide is still not safely treated before discharge. So now that we know the crappy history about what actually happens when you flush. If you live in a rural area, your waste most likely goes into a septic tank, which is different, a similar process to what I'm about to explain. Today I'm going to focus on what happens if you have a sewer service. When you flush, your waste leaves your home through underground pipes called the collection system. These pipes carry the waste to the wastewater treatment plant. And once it arrives at the treatment plant, that's when the real magic begins. First, wastewater goes through pre-treatment. Settling tanks and screens remove sand, grit, and large solids. Next, the waste is introduced to microorganisms when it enters the aeration tanks, where air and microorganisms break down and consume the waste naturally, turning it into water as a byproduct. Then it's allowed to settle again in a clarifier, which is basically just a large tank that allows the water to move slowly through, removing any remaining solids by allowing them to settle out to the bottom while clear water exits through the top. Finally, the water is disinfected and reintroduced safely into the ecosystem. So beyond just dealing with waste, wastewater treatment protects both the environment and us. Why it matters. Clean water protects wildlife and aquatic life by preventing disease and mineral depletion. Wastewater treatment keeps our communities safe by managing waste in an environmentally responsible way. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, more than 16,000 wastewater plants in the U.S. protect over 270 million people from waterborne disease like cholera and typhoid, are virtually eliminated in the U.S. That means every time you flush, you're part of protecting your community. So we've looked at the history of wastewater treatment, the journey from your toilet to the plant, how treatment transforms waste into safe water, and why these systems are still vital today. So the next time you flush, your waste may be out of sight, but hopefully not so much out of mind.